Alright everyone, I want to welcome you aboard. Today we're going to be flying the Zibo 737. We're going to do a flight from Atlanta to Orlando today. It's about an hour-long flight, give or take. And we'll just jump in and get started here. So we'll go ahead and start our ground services, connect the GPU, set the chocks. Go ahead and get the fuel, pull that off a sim brief here. Looks like fuel's going to be a 15.5. And the payload's going to be 41.6, a little bit heavy. Actually, it's a lot of fuel too for such a short flight, but we'll deal with it. Let's go ahead and get power on. Ground power, emergency lights on. Go ahead and turn the seatbelt signs on. Start aligning the IRS. While that's all working, we'll go ahead and start setting up the route down here. We are currently at Atlanta Airport. We'll grab the GPS. We're going from Atlanta to Orlando. Runway for departure today looks like 27 right. Planned fuel will be 15.5. Zero fuel weight. Reserves. There was a lot of extra gas. 4.1 on the reserves today. Cost index of 33. We'll be flying at 350. Set that. And it looks like the winds are going to be 249 at 112. Some blowing winds up there. Get that all set. ISO deviations of 4. Outside temperature good. We'll go ahead and derate that. Plenty of room in Atlanta. We have flaps 5 departure. And let's grab the runway winds here. Runway winds are 310 at 10. Go back. V1 will be 140, VRB 141, V2 149. We'll go ahead and set that on our display. We'll set it 20 over to 169. Good. Come down here, the trim should be a 4.9. Looks good there. Alright, route today. We're going to be doing the Smilts 2 departure. Smilts 2 with the wallet transition. Good. Route. Looks like we have 1 point. It's a direct. It's going to be to use YUESS. And from there we will start our arrival. We're going to plan on the arrival for 36 right, I believe, today. It's kind of the wrong side of the airport from where our terminal is, but we'll deal with it. We're going to be on the Piglet 5 and the OTK transition. Double check the charts to see if we need the tramp there when we do the Piglet 5. No, it doesn't look like we need it. We're going to be okay. So we'll go to route, activate, execute, check the legs. There is going to be a vector, I know, when we get down to Orlando to get to the actual turn into the runway. Yep, there's the vector. Go ahead and go over to the plan page. We'll step through it, double check if we really need a vector, if we could just fly it direct once we get down there. Looks like we can skip the vector. We can go waving straight to Silky, it looks like. So we'll go ahead and do that. Get rid of the vector. Yep, looks good. So let's go ahead and start boarding the aircraft. Go ahead and get the hydraulic pumps on. Turn on the yaw damper. That gives the co-pilot a chance to go out, check the perimeter of the aircraft for any leaks or anything like that. We are flying up to 350, and Orlando sits, I always forget, it's around 200 if I remember right. We'll double check it real quick. Oh, 100, so we'll set it to 100. It's actually at 92. I'm going to go ahead and check Atlanta here. Go ahead and grab the ATIS while we're boarding. ATIS is going to be on 12555. So let's get the ATIS going here. Start setting up the rest of the aircraft.
1100 Zulu weather. Wind 310 and 9. Visibility 10.
Guys, Delio's on board.
Sky conditions 1600 broken. Temperature 8. 2.5. Altimeter 3023.
3023 on the altimeter. We'll go ahead and set that.
27 left. 28. Departing runways 26 right. 26 left. 27 right. Advise on initial contact. You have Zulu.
Take this out of plan mode back to map mode. It looks like we need a go ahead and start better pushback, and we need to go tail to the right when we push back here.
Visibility 10.
Actually, that's not bad.
All right, Captain, got the directions. Let me know through the menu when you're ready.
So let's go upstairs. Let's go ahead and get the fuel turned on. Start the APU so we can come off the ground power. 1, 2, 3, release. Passengers getting on board with the steady strobes on. We'll wait for all that to power up.
27 right.
Go ahead and get rid of that ATIS. Don't want it to annoy us for a while. Squawk's going to be 4232 today. Go ahead and set that. And the EGT is still rising. We'll give that another minute. Go ahead and give our welcome aboard speech for the folks in the back.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the flight deck, welcome aboard. They're going to be underway shortly for the first leg. These 3 wonderful flight attendants, give them their attention as we push and taxi. They're going to give you plenty of attention and route.
Hope you're enjoying the stream.
We'll talk to you once airport.
This is actually my first stream, so we'll see how things go. I've actually never done this before. Alright, APU's on, so we'll go ahead and switch over to the APU. APU bleed on. We'll go ahead and get some air flowing for now until we actually start. Let's go ahead and get the pushback coming.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
And while the pushback's on, let's go ahead and button up the aircraft. Don't have any scenery yet for Atlanta. I have not downloaded the airport yet, so we don't have any auto gates or anything. I'll be doing that later. We do have payware Orlando, and we have scenery over Florida, so things will improve as we get going.
All right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Atlanta's a busy airport. We'll go ahead and set TARA on so that everybody can see us. Go ahead and set RTO. Let's go ahead and make sure that the GPU's disconnected. Chocks were already removed.
Looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
And we will wait for them to connect. So my name's the Holiday Captain. We're going to be taking our little holiday down to Orlando today, the land of nothing but holidays. Busy time of year for Orlando, Christmas to New Year's.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Toes connected, bypass pins inserted. Go ahead and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Parking bay released.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Thank you, sir. Alright, let's get the packs turned off. And let's go ahead and go over to ground on engine 2. Wait for the N2 to get to about 25%. When it reaches 25%, we will introduce the fuel. And add fuel. Engine spinning up, fuel flow's coming up. Good. Alright, cut out on the starter for engine number 2. We'll go over to ground for engine number 1.
In the event of a water evacuation, use the life vest under your seat. Only remove it if told to do so. Remove the pouch, take out the vest. Place the vest over your head, wrap the strap around your waist, and buckle it in the front. Once outside the aircraft, pull on the red tab to inflate. To manually inflate, blow at the tube at your shoulder. Once again, please check to make sure your seatbelts are secured.
Looking nice. 23%. 25, add fuel. Now we'll continue to spin up and start.
Federal law also prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying any smoke detectors in an aircraft lavatory. Federal aviation regulations.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
There's the cutoff on engine 1. Starter cutoff complete. Switch over to engine power instead of the APU power. APU bleed come off. Packs come back on. And the APU itself can come off. Let's get the heat going. Windows, probes. Let's make sure the power is good. Should get to a 54.8, 54.9. Good there. Good, disconnect, thank you, sir. 54.9 on both engines, looking really good. Let's just scan the overhead panel. Scan looks good. The EGT's coming down on the APU as it's shutting off. Pressure's still at 0. We're not in the climb yet.
And we're disconnected.
And we'll
Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe
auto.
flight.
Thank you, sir. We will look for the pin. Auto throttle can now come on. There goes the tug. Go ahead and start setting flaps 5. Pin's good. Alright. Let's go ahead and switch to the lower display and we'll check our controls. Full left, full right, full forward, full back, right rudder, left rudder, and complete. Go ahead and turn off the lower display. We are good to go. And we'll kill the parking brake. Taxi light on. Here we go. Give it a little juice. Go ahead and go over to continuous on the engines for the takeoff here. A little bit of gas to get us rolling. Once we get rolling, we'll power that back. We're going to be making a left turn here at the end of the taxiways, taxiing all the way down. Looks like we're going to take Lima all the way down to the end here of 27 right, 9 left. Alright, go ahead and idle that back. Early morning takeoff. Looks like there's a little bit of a low ceiling. ATIS did say something about some broken clouds. shouldn't need any terrain radar. There's no terrain really around Orlando or Atlanta. We will turn on the weather radar just in case there's weather. Weather should be clear in Orlando, a little bit cloudy here in Atlanta. We'll double check the Orlando weather as we get closer. We are flying the Zibo 737. I haven't updated it in about a month, so I'm probably behind on the latest and greatest that's out. But I think I'm going to hold off on any more updates on my Zibo until 11.3 gets released. I'm hoping that's pretty soon. I don't want to do the beta. I'd rather wait till they have the product finished, especially since I know what we're running is very stable. I'd like to stick with the stable stuff. Do a little outside view as we're taxiing. There's not much going on while we taxi. The runway we're taking is this one directly to our right. There's a taxiway, then the runway we will be taking off on. Plane's looking good. We've got a left wing view, right wing view, left engine view, cabin view. Gotta have a nice cabin view. Turn this bad boy back up. We're starting to speed up, going downhill a little bit. Slow that down just a little tad. When we're flying this, it is about 1:30 in the morning, but I wanted to do a daylight one, so we fast forwarded it to just around dawn here. Should make for some really nice views. Approaching the end here. About 3 more taxiways to pass. Welcome to the chat. Appreciate you being here. Flying Atlanta to Orlando today for our holiday trip to Orlando for Christmas and the New Year. Appreciate you being here. Don't have anything set up yet for any Nightbot or anything like that, because this is my first live stream, so I appreciate all you guys watching. Alright, pulling up here to 27 right. This will be our departure runway. Go ahead and stop right here. Not flying with any kind of ATC, it's just me. I don't have any pilot to ATC or world traffic or anything like that, so we're not going to really mess with that. What we will do is get our lights turned on the proper way here, so we'll get those lights on, get the landing lights on. Engines are on continuous. Notify the crew that we're ready to go so they can take their seats, and we'll start rolling out here onto the runway.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Aircraft usually spin up to about 35% to get their initial roll going, and then they'll roll the engines back. Learned that from a pilot friend of mine. Since we don't have anything, we'll just roll out. We won't stop. We'll just align ourselves here with the runway, start rolling. going to go ahead and roll it up to 40% as we align ourselves with the runway here. Should be stabilized around that 40% by the time we're lined up. Alright, stabilized at 40%, we're lined up. Toga. Go ahead and get LNAV and VNAV ready. Oh, started drifting there. Let's get realigned. Here we go. Airspeed's alive.
80 knots.
Checked.
V1, rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate.
Gear up. Alright, RTO can come off.
400.
Checked. Nice takeoff out of Atlanta here.
1000.
Very good. Gear can come off 1,000 feet. We'll go ahead and turn on the autopilot. And we're going to start bringing the flaps up as we enter climb mode. Again, I don't have any good scenery out here in Atlanta. I haven't downloaded any airports or ortho yet. So clouds don't really bother me. We'll just continue to bring the flaps up as we continue to climb. We are in climb mode now. Engines rolled back to about 88%. It's a straight out departure here today. Appreciate it. A little bit of a wind knocked us there right on takeoff. That's why we got that little bit of a roll. Over 200, go ahead and bring the flaps up. Not much views as we come out of the clouds. Is what it is, right? Cloudy day in Atlanta. Go ahead and zoom out on the map a little bit. Going to be making that left turn to head back south. We're basically heading north at this point. Looks like I have an ILS tuned in over here in Atlanta, didn't even realize it. Turn that off. Maybe we have both ILSs tuned. What are the odds? So we're about 30 minutes in from the time we started planning to take off there. I am flying on Project Fly, so you guys should be able to see our arrivals at about 7:56 Zulu. Actually, that's going to be off. 7:55 Zulu is according to real time, not the time on the sim. So, see if I can fix that for next time and get an actual like ETA time on there. Project Fly says it's an hour and 21 minutes. Don't think it'll be quite that long. I think it'll be closer to 1 hour. I've flown this a bunch of times. Again, this is my first live stream, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. If you do like it, please follow. I'd like to get word out that I'm starting to fly now. Gonna be flying on kind of a funky schedule for a little bit till I kind of get stuff felt out. I know there's a lot of people not flying this late, so kind of trying to fill in maybe a gap of guys that would be up this late like me trying to fly. So hopefully I can do that for you guys. Looks like the clouds are breaking up. We're passing kind of close by the Atlanta airport as we turn off to the south towards Florida. Just got a new 4 terabyte external drive, so I will be downloading most of the United States scenery. I'll probably use Fort Boy's scenery since it's already there for us. And then the stuff he doesn't have, I will start downloading myself. And if you guys have any suggestions, do please let me know, especially since this is my first live stream. I think the view I need to adjust a little bit, try to widen the view in the cockpit there to maybe, I think I'm close to 70% view angle, or 70-degree view angle. I'll double check that before I stream next time, that way you guys can see more of the cockpit. It looks like it might be a little narrow. If it looks good to you guys, let me know. If you think it is a little narrow and I can play with that, let me know that too. So we're climbing up to 35,000. We've crossed 10. We're going to turn all the lights back off. Pressure looks like it's coming up and handling everything good. We'll go ahead and go over to auto on the engines. Alright, crossing 18,000, we'll go ahead and go to standard pressure. Got the sun in our eyes on sunrise there. For the clouds, I'm not using any special programs. This is generic X-plane weather and weather textures. I am using Captain K-Man's ULI script. He does provide that on his Discord if you're interested in it. I think it makes the clouds look really good. I think, at least in my opinion right now, it's better than some of the other clouds that are out there. I think they look better. Some of the programs out there, I think they're looking a little hokey still. Nice and quiet inside the cabin. I'm just going to stay inside for now since we don't have any good scenery. When we get to Florida, when we get into that good scenery, I'll definitely switch to some outside views. That way we can enjoy the ortho. That'll actually come right around where we start our arrival. The arrivals start at Valdosta. Valdosta is just north of the Georgia-Florida border. Looks like that wind is a little bit of a tailwind, so we're really going to be moving. So I definitely don't think it's going to be near that hour that Project Fly originally told us it would be. In fact, Project Fly is already down to 44 minutes, and I know we haven't been up for a half an hour yet. So that tailwind's definitely helping. Almost an 80-knot tailwind. But we're not even up to our cruise altitude yet. About 40 miles from top of climb. Looking good. Just double check everything. The RTO is off. Gear is locked. Flaps are up. Lights are all off and or where they're supposed to be. Double check the pressure. Currently the cabin's at about 6,000 feet. The PSI differential is looking good. Duct pressure is good. Everything's looking good. Miles from top of climb. just reached top of climb. Be leveling out here in a second. Our tailwind has turned into a kind of a nasty crosswind. Might be a little rocky. And it looks like the clouds are actually getting thicker. Thought they were going to be thinning out, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes as we continue the flight. And I appreciate all you guys being here today. If you like what you're seeing today, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, the follow button. That way you know when I'm live and you can catch me another time. Looks like we're about 40 minutes from landing in
1,000 to go.
Orlando. Checked. There's our cruise altitude. The aircraft is settle in. We'll go ahead and do the cruise announcement here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached our cruising altitude. Flights are smooth, so I'll turn the seatbelt sign on. I would like to ask you a few favors, so please keep the seatbelt fast while leaving, just in case we get find an unexpected bump. So please don't pull the flags and rest in the forward galley lavatory area. We really appreciate you choosing to fly with Southwest this morning. Hope you enjoy the trip. Have a great week. Please come back and see us in real soon.
Alright, we'll go back up front. Now we're at altitude. Doesn't seem like it's too bad. We will kill the seatbelt sign for now. We are going to keep an eye on this crosswind though. See if it gives us too much turbulence. See how it goes. About halfway through Georgia. Looking for these clouds to break up when we get down towards Florida and Orlando. Looking at the radar, there's no rain in our way. The closest rain's down over Cuba. let's see, the weather in Orlando, visibility was 10, broken at 25. And that's pretty much it. Temperature at 10, dew point 7, altimeter is 30, 25. We'll go ahead and preset that now. We'll get our ATIS and everything tuned here in just a few minutes. So the clouds should hopefully break up. Broken at 25. Shouldn't be too many clouds around for that. Set up a plane here. Looks like the arrival latest is 121.25. And the ILS for 36 right is 110.7. Easy enough. 110.7 on both sides. We've got quite a while, but at least we're ready now, right? Looks like the top of the descent's right around 160 miles. So, descending there shortly. 160 miles is not very long in this aircraft. Pushing us around for sure. See if it's gonna stay this bad all the way. Go to windy.com for that. Well, it looks like as we approach Florida, no, it pretty much stays like this the whole way. Fastest over Georgia. They'll slow down a little bit, but it does look like we're stuck with this wind most of the way. Until we get down to the lower altitudes. When we get down around 15,000, the winds are still in the same direction. They're going to be basically a crosswind across the airplane, but they're much slower. 20, 30 knots. Still making good ground speed, 420. Really happy with that. Might bump up the aircraft to 0.78. Haven't decided yet. We're still making good time, so. We are getting close to the Georgia border here. In about 30 minutes from touchdown. Well, it's not 30 minutes from touchdown, it's 30 minutes from the airport. But we're landing 3-6. We're landing south to north in Orlando. It takes about an extra about 10 minutes to do that because you go south and then you turn back north. Here comes the ortho over Florida. You can actually see the line cutting across right there. So we'll start getting some good outside views. And look at this, the clouds are breaking up just in time for the good ortho. So much better. Can't wait to get the rest of this ortho downloaded. Get this thing looking really good. Set up that new hard drive here in the next couple days. Basically traveling right down 75. This will be 75 along the side of the aircraft here. Follow that all the way down into Orlando, hopefully. Pass over Gainesville and places like that here in a minute. Still getting pushed to the side by that crosswind. 113, 112. Man, that's rough. For those of you watching, I think for Christmas, I'm going to wake up early. I actually have to work Christmas, but I'd like to get a flight in for you guys. And I think we're going to do Jakarta to Christmas Island. Christmas Island's an island owned by Australia out there in the Indian Ocean. I haven't checked the exact flight time, but it's not a horrible distance from Jakarta. I didn't want to fly from Australia because it's actually a very long flight from Australia out there. But that's what we're looking up to set up for Christmas. Hopefully it'll be a fun flight. Christmas Island's a single runway on the end of the island. Most of the island is actually I guess the Australian equivalent to a national park. There is hotels there for tourism and things like that, but most of the island is a national park. A lot of good wildlife. Apparently it's a real nice place to visit. What are you guys doing in there? It's looking good. Just leave it outside for a minute. Top of descent's not for quite a while. Still basically following 75 down into Orlando. Should pass over Gainesville shortly for you Gator fans. See how far we are from the top of this. 80 miles, so we still got a little bit of time. We'll go back outside for a little while. Let you enjoy this nice ortho. Sun's getting a little higher in the sky there. It's always better. Doesn't blind us in the cockpit anymore, thank goodness. Wonder what causes that. Getting ready to make a right turn here. Be heading into Jasmine. We are on the arrival. I remember we're flying the, I think it's the Piglet 5 arrival. Yep, Piglet 5 arrival today. We're about, quarter way through our arrival, give or take. So we're getting there. Top of distance in about 40 miles. That pops up on the screen. We'll go ahead and start setting up the aircraft for the approach. Here's that right turn. Town off our nose here should be Gainesville, if I'm not mistaken. fly right over the stadium for you Gator fans out there. Bit of a hiccup there. Hopefully that's just the ortho load. Yeah, there we go. Smooth back out. Good. Yep, there's the swamp right down here. I don't know if you guys can see me circling that. It's coming off the right wing as we speak. Payne's Prairie. Alright, the top descent's coming up. We'll go ahead and get the aircraft started to set up for the descent. We'll go ahead and lower this down to about 4,000 to start. We'll get ready for the arrival here. Passing right over the swamp there. A little bit of a frame hit there. Not horrible. Alright, descent's coming up in about 15 miles. About 8 miles from the top of descent, coming up quick. Looks like it's going to be a nice arrival into Orlando today. Should be on the ground in about 15 minutes, give or take. Alright, the engines are rolling back. Here comes the descent. Probably going to get a drag warning from the FMC. We'll see how fast we really get going, see if we really need to drag it, or if we're just going to let it naturally slow down on our own. Yep, There's the drag warning. We'll go ahead and clear that. If I think we need it, we'll go in and add the drag. Not much out here between Gainesville and Orlando. Should be coming up to Ocala pretty quick. This Ocala just off the nose there. And again, we've already set up our radio for the ATIS, and our nav radio is already set to ILS 36 right. Hopefully that hasn't changed. We'll see. Pull up the latest METAR. But the winds are 0 at 0. And this time at night in Orlando, if they can, they always land south to north. That way the planes are not low over the city as they're coming in, because south of the airport there is pretty much nothing. A lot of swampland, so they try not to land over the city if they don't have to at night. So we'll still plan on 36 right. And on that 36 right, what we're going to do is we'll try to stop relatively quickly. There is a turnoff that'll get us to the other side of the airport where our terminal is, but it's very short. If we don't make it, it's not a big deal. We'll roll out almost to the end of the runway and we'll take Juliet. Normally they try to get you to exit between Juliet and Echo, which is taxiway Yankee, and then you would just go up by the terminals before you take Juliet to get across. But again, since we're not flying with World Traffic 3 or anybody else right now, we will just we'll just roll it out. So we'll probably just do it auto brake of 1, so that the plane can roll out down the runway without any issues. That funny flicker off the sun again. It's really odd how it does that. I don't know what that's being caused by, why it flickers, why it doesn't just stay steady. Like that. Alright. Plane kind of kept the speed naturally of its own. We will go ahead and give the descent speech to everybody in the back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have started our descent. I have turned the seatbelt sign back on. I'd like to ask you to please return to your seats. Buckle up for the short duration of the flight. We really appreciate you choosing to fly with Southwest this morning. Hope you enjoy the trip. Have a great week. Please come back and see us again real soon.
Okay, so it is 3025 for the altimeter. I'll take that. It's saying 17 left for the approach. That's the north to south runways. So the simulator thinks it's morning, which would normally be a correct approach. That runway is active this time of the morning. But we're already set up for 36 right, and the winds are calm, so it's not really going to hurt us either way. So we'll just fly the 36 right approach. 17 left actually closes down overnight because there's some houses just to the side of it. So aircraft aren't allowed to use that runway during the nighttime. And again, at night, we always land from south to north at MCO. So We'll stick with it. Winds are calm. It's not going to really affect us either way. Continue to monitor descent. Get down to 18,000. We'll go ahead and set the altimeter back to 3025. Definitely shifted from what it was when we were up at altitude. Not hitting that 100 knot crosswind anymore. Alright, here comes 18,000 feet. We'll go ahead and set standard pressure. Or, I'm sorry. We'll reset the altimeter to the new pressure. 30.25, that's set. And 30.25 is the current altimeter. Temperature 9. Won't need any engine heat or anything like that. There's no clouds or anything around. Go ahead and set the RTO to 1 like I was saying. We're going to roll out on this runway. The airport's actually off the nose, about 30 miles. Might be able to start to see it show up. Not quite. Can't quite make it out just yet. A little bit of cloud in the way. It's actually going to be probably right behind that cloud. Fast approaching. We'll give the plane a little bit of drag. Help it slow to that new speed just a little bit. Set it there for just a minute. Actually, we'll go full flight detent. We'll really get it back down to that speed, then we'll let the drag back in and see if it maintains the speed for us. Approaching Tigger. Alright, we'll go ahead and bring that speed brake back in. Plane should be able to maintain the speed without a problem. Engines are still at idle, so we're good. We're going to go ahead and notify the crew that they need to prepare and do their final cleanup.
Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for landing.
Alright, flight attendants should get the cabin cleaned up pretty quick. Things are going to start happening pretty quick. We're at 13,000. Get down to 10, we'll get all the lights turned back on. We'll check our performance data to find out what we need to set our flaps to. We're going to do a flaps 30. We need to roll it out anyway, so I don't need full flaps or anything. I'm going to go ahead and kill the ATIS, so we don't have to listen to that for the next 20 minutes or so. Well, not that long. We're going to be on the ground here. Probably less than 10. There's the airport just off the nose. We're basically over downtown Orlando. Airport's definitely coming into view out there. Starting to get all the buildings rendered in. Excellent. Yep, flying over downtown as we speak. That's Executive Airport there off the nose. This will be the downtown area here. This is Interstate 4. If we follow Interstate 4 down, we'd run into like Universal Studios, things like that. Here comes 4 this way. Universal Studios, Disney down off in the distance. This would be the Orlando Soccer Stadium here, the Citrus Bowl here, all the tall buildings. Don't know why we're not getting the buildings built in. But definitely have the airport out there. Right off the nose. Here comes 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and get the lights all back on. Go ahead and set the engines over to continuous for the approach. Double check the overhead panel. The pressure has readjusted. The aircraft is still flying at about 7,500 feet, but the pressure differential has definitely come down to almost nothing, which is what we want to see. Looks like we did hit a little bit of fog or clouds here. Double check the ATIS, make sure we didn't get some horrible weather update that changed a bunch of stuff on us. Nope, looks good. Still at 32.5 on the altimeter. Plane is slowing down, looking for 240. Go ahead and get the performance data for the approach here. Looking for a flaps 30 at 147 today. Plane's not wanting to slow as much. We'll go ahead and give it a little bit of drag again. Definitely some haze. Horrible, horrible haze. We're actually going to pass very close to Disney as we get down here closer to making our turn. That's Universal Studios there. We're passing just over our right wing there. The new Volcano Bay, Islands of Adventures, and Universal Studios there. Disney's going to be further down the highway down there. We may catch a view of it. This haze has kind of messed up that view. It kind of sucks. Alright, go ahead and bring the spoilers back in. Double check everything here. 36 right, 110.7. 110.7 for the ILS. Looks good. Oh, and there goes the fog. See if we can catch a glimpse of Disney over here off our wing. No, not quite. Disney's this area down here. So we got a little too low to really get a good view. That's okay. Down here's the giant lakes and swamps. This is why we land this direction during the nighttime hours. During day like this, the winds are calm. We will normally land north and south and do a straight-in approach. But it is nighttime where I'm at. It's 2:30 in the morning and I wasn't thinking about it. So we're just going to stay set up for 3.6. Winds are calm, doesn't really matter. So we'll go ahead and set the speed brake to armed. We'll start dropping the flaps as we come around Wavin. The airport behind us. So the runway we're going to be using is this inner runway here. This is 36 right, 36 left, and then over here are the 35s. About 6 miles from Wavin. When all said and done, we'll be about 20 miles from the airport when we first start making the turn. So we'll start putting down some flaps. go ahead and make sure this keeps descending. We'll go ahead and set it to 2,000. Let me double check the missed approach settings. The missed approach is at 3. So we'll go ahead and let it keep descending till 2. Once we grab the approach, we'll reset that back to 3 for the missed in case we have to go around. We'll go ahead and set the bank limiter over to 30 so the plane can really turn this turn here for us. It's a sharp turn since I didn't do any vectors off waving. Alright, the plane's really going to bank over hard to make this turn. That's why we set for a bank of 30. Lost a little airspeed there, so the engines are going to spin up. They always seem to overdo this. We're probably going to get close to that 250. Not good. Go ahead and add the spoilers in. Just because we don't need to get going that fast. It's a little bit of an issue still with the Zibo, I've noticed. Hopefully when 11.3 comes out, all that stuff's fixed. Alright, we're going to rearm the speed brake. We'll go ahead and go flaps 1. Turn, baby, turn. Just like I said, they do all these low turns out here over nothing. There is nothing out here. Canals, alligators, and cows is all that's out here. Go ahead and set flap 2. Right around that 20 miles from the airport. We'll let the aircraft just continue to slow. Here does come the ILS. I'm not going to grab it quite yet. I do want it to fly over onto Silky. We'll grab it around Silky and wait for the
1,000 to go.
glide slope to catch up to us. Keep turning, baby. Keep turning. We just need to be below 3,000 at Silky. We're definitely going to be below 3,000. We're actually at 2,500. Turn, baby. Alright. So the airport's in front of us, 18 miles out. We're going to go ahead and grab the approach. The aircraft should set up for the approach now. So now the aircraft will actually fly level until the glide slope comes in. We'll just continue to monitor everything here for a couple minutes. It's not wanting to align to 3.6 right. I don't know what the deal is there. I don't know what it's doing here. Just keep watching it. Should realize any minute that it needs to turn. I don't know why it hasn't gathered that yet. I think we're actually going to take control. We're we're going to get it turned over here onto what we know is the correct glide slope. Over here it's silky. No, we don't want it to descend any. So we're flying the airplane. We're just going to let the aircraft handle the throttles for a minute. Go ahead and go flaps 5. 10 miles out. Flaps 10. Set our VREF speed as well. Apparently something is all kinds of funky right now on this approach. I don't know what's going on with it. We're going to go ahead and start rolling into 3-6 right. I think something is off because 3-6 right is this runway here. We're actually a little bit low now. Nope. Leave it at flaps 10, the gear aren't down yet. 8 miles from the airport. Oh, there we go. Let's see if it grabs the glide slope now. It's going to want to climb into the glide slope. Alright, I think we got it fixed. It's on the glide slope now. It's still going to want to try to climb into the glide slope. I don't really want it doing that. The glide slope should be coming down. Now the plane's really got to adjust. Let's go gear down. Now the plane's going to kick over hard. Flaps 15. What a horrible approach this plane is flying. God dang, it's all messed up on me today. I don't know what the problem is here. Not looking good, is it? Goodness gracious. Criticize that with myself all day long. Alright. Flaps 25.
1,000. 1,000 feet stabilized.
Flaps 30.
Altitude set.
Mid-stow approach altitude is now set. Hopefully this plane stabilizes out a little bit here. We'll just take control of it here in a second anyway. My aircraft, my throttles.
400. 300. 200. 100.
See if we can get back onto that center line a little bit better as we
50,
come in.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Hold the nose up, reversers out. Let the plane settle into the runway. Excellent. We're going to let that roll out a little bit. 80 knots,
80
we're going to
knots.
stow the reversers. doing manual braking. Go ahead and get the APU started. 1, 2, 3, release. Then just come back to auto. We're going to be taking the next taxiway. It's a turn off to the right. That takes us directly over to our terminal. Go ahead and kill the auto brake since we're manually braking now. Here comes our turn off. We'll go ahead and kill the speed brake, raise the flaps. This will be our turn. Southwest Park's on the other side at airside 2, so we're actually going to have to cross over to the other side before we find our gate. All in all, not a horrible landing considering how the plane didn't want to act like it's supposed to. It is what it is. Those things happen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Orlando. Go ahead and turn off the flight directors for both sides. Terminal in front of us there, that's the actual JetBlue terminal. We're going to continue going left here to cross over to the other side of the airport. As we're crossing over, go ahead and turn off all the heat. We don't need any of this anymore. Oop, oop, drifted. Didn't mean to do that. Keep my foot off the pedal if I'm going to do that, huh? Everything's good. The APU is available when we get over to the terminal. That's excellent. Landing lights come off. Taxi light will stay on. Engines are back on continuous. Position light can come over to steady only. This is a Payware Orlando. Got it on sale for Black Friday. Looks really good. A little bit of an issue right here where it does this little hill. I don't know if that's just the way they had to design it. It's probably an issue with the way my ortho is set up. I'll have to see if I can fix that with my ortho. Just climb the hill. Got a little slow there. We'll give it a little gas to help it up over the hill. Then on the other side, we're going to gain speed going right back downhill. Doesn't that just figure? The aircraft really do go up a hill here. The entrance and exit roads from the north of the airport go right underneath the aircraft here into the main terminal building over there. These other roads down here, those are the service roads. We got the A and B terminal signs there. That's good. There's actually now a C terminal under construction that's partially open. Guess we need to tell the guys to update the airport to include the new C terminal. Here comes the Southwest terminal, just into view there. That's where we're going to be parking. The aircraft out here on the front, that's actually an overflow parking. Really shouldn't be any planes there. At most there's 1 or 2. I shouldn't see really 5 or 6. We'll do a couple replays once we're parked at the gate before we go. Craziness. Slow down to at least 15 to make the turn here. Make the turn. Let's see if we can find an empty gate here at Southwest. Oh, looks like there's one right here in front of us. We'll go ahead and take this first available. Why not? Come back inside. We'll go ahead and turn off the taxi light. The aircraft usually don't have their taxi lights on in this area. I actually work at MCO, so I know how most of this operates. Alright. Start turning in. Should have a marshal out there. Yep, there he is. He should recognize us here in a second. Marshal us into the gate there. Hello, Mr. Marshaller. Do you see me yet? Yep, there we go. Marshaller recognizes us. Should be right on the center line there. Slow down just a little bit. We may have to sit up to see him as we get close. And we're in business. Go ahead and set the parking brake. Engine 1 come off, engine 2 come off. Come upstairs, let's make sure we get over on the APU. APU bleed off. Engine anti-collision light come off, strobe lights come off. Seatbelt light come off. Welcome to Orlando. The auto gate pulled away from us. Weird. Don't think I've ever seen that. I wonder if we can get it to come back to us. Apparently not. That's a little bit on the strange side, isn't it? Alright, let me go ahead and complete my flight here in Project Fly. Complete that. Excellent. And we will do some replays here. So we'll back up just a little bit to the approach. Watch the first one from the wing view. The runway view. Came off that center line pretty bad right there at the end. Wish we could have adjusted it better. Oh, that actually looked pretty good. Right on time. Didn't float it down the runway. I like it. Let's see if we can do a view from the tower. I always enjoy tower views. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Do one more view here before we go. Do an outside view of the approach here as we're flying in. Exit replay mode. We'll go back to the terminal. We'll enjoy sitting here at the terminal for a minute. I don't have any exit screens yet or anything. I'd like to thank everybody for coming and watching today. If you did like the content, please make sure you follow if you're watching on Twitch, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. I'd like to start growing the channel, do a lot of flying, and I would like to share it all with you. Appreciate y'all being here, and have a great evening. Thanks for coming.